what we record. Okay, so um,
let me put this is the drive I where you have all
yeah,
the files. This is
yeah,
what you're looking at, right? It's much better
yes,
here, right? Okay.
yes, yeah. It'd be better here because okay, so these are the steps. Step 1 through 5 is what we're going to do, and step 2 was already done by IT department by Joel Milford, and he did it through Big Fix, the install the .NET framework for 3.5. So the first step
Andreas,
here, yes.
let me say something. Maybe you know maybe it will be easy for you. I can give you the control you wanted to for you to handle the files in my computer, right? This is possible, right? You can take the control of my computer and do it.
What do you mean?
I mean, I can give you the control to my computer through
Yeah,
maybe it could
I,
work. I
I,
don't know what you prefer.
I'd rather you drive. It'd be
Okay,
faster.
okay,
Every time I try to use the controls for somebody else, it's slow and I can't see where my cursor is.
okay, okay.
But so you'll go in this step 1 folder and we're going to install some software called Virtual Clone Drive. And so if you go into that Virtual Clone Drive folder,
Okay.
you'll see um, there's 2 programs, different versions. It doesn't matter which version. So you're going to right click on it and click install.
Any one of them, right? Second way
Yeah,
is okay.
either one of them would be fine.
Okay.
And then so
Run.
yeah, run. And this will install a program called Virtual Clone Drive. And Virtual Clone Drive is sort of like um, a zip utility, like WinZip or something. It just that software reads a particular file type called a .iso, which is an image file. And
Okay.
so you just go hit next, next, and just accept all
Okay.
the defaults
I,
until you get to
I don't have to select anything right here. No.
no.
Okay. Next. Install.
Yes.
The direction is correct, right? Install.
Yes. Yeah.
Install. Close, so I should wait.
It says completed, so I think you can close it.
Okay.
Okay. And then if you hit the back button, we're going to go into step, whatever the next step is here.
Step
So
2.
yeah, that one, we already did it through Big Fix. So
Okay.
then we'll go to step 3. And so what we're doing here, I'm going to talk you through it. So what we're doing here is we're going to install an old version of Microsoft Office called Professional 2010. But after we install it, we're going to remove it. And the reason we're installing it is because it's got some backwards compatibility files that is needed for Monarch to work properly. So we have to install it, then uninstall it.
So
Now,
you just click on install.
yeah, and let me say 2 other things. So you see that middle file, and you see how it's got a
Yes.
picture of a goat or some kind of animal.
Mm,
That's that virtual clone drive. So that's how I know virtual clone drive was installed, because virtual clone drive reads this kind of file type, which is a type .iso, which is an image of the real CD that you would have if you popped it in your CD-ROM drive to install the program. And then after this Office 2010 installs, your computer is, I think, going to ask you to reboot. So
mm.
if you reboot, just join the Teams back, join back up on Teams after reboot, and so that we can continue recording.
Okay.
So all you do here is you just right click and or you can double click it. So click open.
Open. Mm.
Yeah. And then notice on your left hand side, there's going to be like a letter drive. It'll look like you've got a CD-ROM, but it's kind of virtual. So you hit open here.
Okay.
And you see at the bottom right,
Mm.
it says you've got like a new drive. It's acting like you've got a CD-ROM drive now. So if you want to click that, or you can access it to the left side if you scroll down in your Windows Explorer
And
there.
should I go to the Windows Explorer?
Yeah, if you scroll down, you'll see you see that BD-ROM drive, D Office.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like a virtual CD-ROM drive. And so you want to go to Setup there and double click the Setup
Okay.
on the right side. And it'll automatically determine if you got a Windows 64, that x86 version. You don't have to go into
Okay.
those folders. So this is just installing the program,
Okay.
Microsoft Office 20. And then after it installs, it'll say reboot your computer. And then after you reboot, we're just going to go ahead and proceed with installing the Monarch.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing we'll do after Monarch's installed is then we'll come back and remove this Office 2010 version, so you don't have two different versions of Office on your PC.
Okay.
But this is actually the key to installing Monarch here. And the other steps that we did are just kind of leading up to installing this Microsoft Office old version.
Okay.
This will take a second or two, so it's not real quick. It'll take a couple of minutes at most, but it'll
Mm-hmm.
eventually get there.
Yeah, let's wait.
And so the reason we're installing this older version is to save money. It'll save us about $25,000 a year
Okay.
every year in the future. So after 4 years, that's $100,000. And Mike Rayner, he's trying. Everybody's watching their budget because
Mm-hmm.
YAGEO's wanting us to cut back on our software expenses and stuff. So this is one step to that. And then the new version, they keep upping the price every year. It keeps getting more and more expensive. So Mike Rayner, he actually didn't want to renew the new version and keep paying for it, but and we already have like 40 licenses for this old version that is just sitting on the shelf and not used.
Mm-hmm.
So and when we bought them, they were perpetual licenses, meaning we don't ever have to pay anything. We own it outright. So we're
Excellent.
just taking advantage of the old licenses.
Okay, Travis, thank you.
And this is the version that I've been using for the last 15 years since I've been at KEMET, and I still use it every month. So it works
So
for me.
it works very well, right?
Yeah, I'm able to do everything. It does everything that the new version does.
Okay.
One thing I forgot to mention was
Mhm.
if you got any Microsoft Office applications open, you want to close them. So
Okay,
I don't know
maybe
if you
that.
got Excel open or
Yeah, let me close it.
I'm assuming we can still have Teams open. We'll try it. So, but you'll get a message if it needs to
Yeah.
close it, it'll say close it. But I would probably go ahead and close everything but Teams so that we can
Mhm.
still record your screen. But so here, when it asks for a product key, the
Mhm.
product key is located in that folder. So if you go back to that folder, and if you go not here, that's your virtual clone drive, but that Monarch folder, step 3
To
there.
step
Yeah.
3,
Yeah. So the first file is the CD key. So if you
just
open
copy.
that up, well, you
Okay.
open it up.
Okay. 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 So
It's just a text file,
yeah, yeah. That's
and then you can see if you can copy it. Earlier, we couldn't copy the whole thing. You had to copy pieces of it or type it in, but you can give it a shot. Yeah, so I think that worked.
okay.
And I would uncheck the attempt to automatically activate my product keys. Uncheck that and then continue.
Okay.
And the reason is for this purposes, we're kind of sharing the same key, and it might already be registered under my name or something, but we're immediately going to take it back off anyway.
Okay.
So
I have to
yeah,
check it.
yeah,
Accept
you
and
can check
continue.
that. So
Start now.
yeah. And this is where it's probably going to say close out of your Microsoft Office.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be, I would try Outlook and Excel and close out of that stuff, and then leave Teams open. If it asks you to close Teams, then you'll close Teams, and we'll wait for you to reboot and join
Mm-hmm.
back to the call. And just to warn everybody on the meeting here, if you don't follow these steps and you go all the way to just trying to install the Monarch software on step 5, it it'll fail. and it will not let you go back to step one. You'd have to like
Oh,
turn your computer back into IT and have them reformat the entire hard drive. And the reason is
really?
because the Monarch is going to leave traces of stuff on your computer during the installation. And if it fails, all that traces of stuff is still on there. Even if you uninstall Monarch, it's still traces of Monarch on your computer. And so if you try to go to reinstall it and follow the steps, it will not let you.
Wow,
And we've tested that thoroughly. So that's why it's important to do these steps before you get to installing Monarch, because you can't go back.
carambolas. Okay, good to know that.
So while this is installing, and I know it's looks like it's taking his time here, but um, just as a FYI, it's faster. Like if you were to take this folder here, the Monarch folder, and just copy all that to your C drive on your actual laptop,
Okay.
or and then do all these steps, it'll go a little faster.
Okay.
I'm assuming so this is kind of going through the network and talking back and forth.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's, I installed it this morning on Will Boyd's computer here in Greenville, South Carolina, and it went faster because that iDrive is located here in Greenville.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it goes. It's almost 70%, something like that. It's fine.
And even though we're doing all this for the Monarch program purposes, this will actually make your Office 365, your current version, more compatible with backwards type stuff. So if you ever try to install some old program, it would work better. Open up a old Excel file or something, you'll be able to be more compatible.
Okay.
So it's worthwhile to do this.
Perfect. Continue. Close, Travis.
Yeah, just close here. Okay. So I don't know if you're going to get a message about restarting your computer or not.
Not yet. Should I restart it or wait the message?
Um, let's do one more thing and then we'll restart. So we'll go to step 4.
Okay.
Maybe step 4, it'll ask you to restart. So you're going to go in that first folder called Office 2003 add-in, and then that's a program. If you right click and you can run it.
Okay. Just share a click.
So what this is doing is it's installing even more backwards compatibility files that's earlier than 2010. This is 2003. So you accept it and then install. This will go faster.
Mhm.
And then this is where maybe it'll say reboot your computer.
Okay.
And if it doesn't, I would reboot and
Okay.
then join back to Teams and we'll wait for you.
Okay, I will. Okay, I will be back. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
I am back.
Okay.
Let me share my screen again. Okay. And here it is.
Thanks. So now we're going to go to the step 5.
Okay.
And that last icon, you'll install that. It'll ask you for your serial number, key, license key number, and that be in that first file.
So this one, right? The Monarch.
Yes. Yeah. And this is the image file. That's why that goat or animal, whatever. So it'll look like you've got a new CD-ROM there again.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you'll do that one that says setup. If you on the right side, if you click setup.
This one?
Yes.
Double click. Next.
Here it's up to you. You can put your user, you put your name and company, but when it comes,
Username, I can write Francisco here.
yeah,
And company name.
yeah, you can put
KEMET.
KEMET or whatever you want to put.
Okay. CD key.
The CD key will get out of that other folder that you was in, not the CD-ROM, but the iDrive accounting.
Sí.
Yeah, that one.
This one.
Yeah, that one.
Should be this, right?
Yes.
Sure. Okay, just yes.
Yeah.
Next.
Then, yeah.
Is typical, okay?
Yeah, typical.
Okay. Here is 7C, or I should choose another one.
You just leave it and just
Next.
keep clicking next over and over until it's done. So it'll install now, hopefully. It always gets to 95%, and then we have to wait a little bit. It should complete, but might take a minute or two. Just don't hit cancel is all.
Yes.
This is the tricky part where if it gets stuck and it never completes, then so we just give it some time. And you don't have to register it. The company's out of business anyway, so
okay.
There's nobody to register with.
Finish.
Yes. Okay, so now you've got it Monarch installed, and if you want to test it, we'll test using Monarch. Then you can go. It may have put an icon on your desktop. If not, if you just search for Monarch, you'll
should
find
be this
it.
one. Should be this virtual clone drive or Monarch.
I don't see it on your desktop, so if you just type in the search box for Monarch, I think that's your newer version. You want the old version, so you have to search for it.
Buenas. No, we want
the search icon next to your start. Yeah, if you just type Monarch, you'll see the old version. which is that one right under command line.
This one?
No, the one with the
No.
butterfly. It's on
Ah,
down, all the way down. Yeah, keep going down.
oh, this one.
That one. That one you can move it to your desktop if you want a
Okay.
shortcut, but
Yeah.
that's the one you want to click that. It'll open up, and we can test it here.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you've got a file that you can open and you got a model you can apply, and you can just kind of test it, make sure it works.
Okay. I do have a file for Monarch. I have really don't use it, but I suppose that
Okay.
with this process it's already done, right?
Yeah. So for everybody else on the call, let me show you. There's a little bit of difference here in how
Okay.
this works. So if you go under your options
Okay.
folders, so on the middle folder where it says model files, you can point that using that folder button in the middle.
In the here one. I mean,
Yeah,
this one.
yeah, that one. And then you'll navigate to wherever you save your models. And that way, every time you open up a model, it's already defaulted to showing wherever your models are stored, located at. So you don't have to keep navigating to your model files.
Mm,
So that's one thing I want to show you. And then
okay.
if you hit cancel, um, and this since we're not doing a real life demonstration because you don't have a file or whatever,
Yes.
I'll just talk you through it. So you can hit cancel again, but here's where there's a little bit of difference. So if you go to file and open up some kind of report, you can open up any text file if you've got a text file, but you open up
Okay.
report.
Let me see. Could be any of this or no? That should be another one from my.
Well, let me do it a different way
Okay.
since we got everybody on this call. If you hit cancel here,
Okay.
and then instead of using Monarch here, this is a one-time deal that you'll probably want to do. So you just go to Windows Explorer, and then you search wherever you might have a text file.
Okay.
It could be an Oracle report. It could be any text file.
Let me see how I have one. My.
So
I'm not sure if I have a text file here. Should
so,
have something. Let me see. I don't have it here. Let me see. This is here. File folder. Acrobat. Self. Mm. Mhm. It could be this one.
Hello,
Any,
Travis. Oh,
hello.
could be
sorry,
this one, Travis.
question. This Monarch only work with text files. We cannot.
No, it works with PDF, every file type, but what I'm going to show you here is a one-time exercise. It's for your Windows 10 computer, and it's so that you can more quickly open up any of your files that you're going to apply a model to, whether it doesn't
Oh,
matter if it's a text file or a PDF or whatever it
ah,
is.
okay.
Yeah, this
Thank you.
is like if you do it one time, your computer will remember what you did, and then you'll be able to do it again. So, so, so Francisco, if you go close this text file, so we
Mhm.
don't want to open it, we just want to navigate to it,
Okay.
and you only have to do this once. You can keep Monarch open, it doesn't matter. So
Okay.
you want so right here where you got that insurance file or that fixed asset file, whatever it was, that text file, if you go back to that.
You want me to go?
Yeah, right here. So instead of double clicking, you're going to right click, and then
Mhm.
where it says open with in the middle there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you notice it does, you've got your new version. So you're going to choose another app down at the bottom.
Mhm.
and then you're gonna go to more apps. The scroll down. Yeah, click that, and then scroll down. I doubt you're gonna see your old version, the Monarch. So look for another app on this PC. So click that, and then you see where you're defaulted right now to program files. So if you scroll to on the right side, if you scroll down, you're gonna see like an x86, I think. If you don't, go back up. So hit your C drive. Yeah, go back.
drive.
Yeah, just go to the C drive, and then
Okay.
you see the one that says programs x86. Go into that folder.
Okay. Sorry.
And then scroll down and you'll see Monarch. There it
This one.
is. Yeah, go into that folder, and then go into the program folder.
This
And
one.
then, yeah, that first one, click that and then hit open. So it might have opened it up already. I think it did. Yeah. So it opened it up in your Monarch.
It should be this one, right?
Yeah, you got to right click on it and hit open. So if I don't know if you might have two versions of Monarch open. I see it on the right side there.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah. So now go back to Windows Explorer, because I just want to show everybody something. So now right click on that text file.
Okay.
Yeah, right click on it and then open with. And you see now you've got Monarch.
Application
So
file. This one.
yeah, so that's a one-time deal. So now forever in the future, if you right click on a PDF or a text file, you'll see that. And then you can open it up with Monarch that way. The other option is you open Monarch up and then you hit file open and you navigate to wherever your text or PDF is. But this is a quicker way. You can just right click on a file and open it up more quickly doing it that way. So that's one thing I wanted to show you. And then we already looked at defaulting the models, but let me do one other thing. So go back to your Monarch that's open with that text file. Not that version, but the other. Yeah, you got two instances of Monarch open. So here, this is one difference, and this is it. But I want to show you this. So I click that where you you see that thing that looks like a spreadsheet icon. It's almost in the middle. Yeah, that one. Yeah, table. Yeah, table view. So click that. And now we don't have a model open, but if you did, this would show it to you, you know, how it's going to bring it over into Excel by clicking that table version. And then if from here, once you're on this screen, the table version screen, you click File and then Export. And then you're going to keep it the default where it defaulted to table is checked. So you click that and then you hit Next. At the bottom, you're going to hit Next.
Just next, okay.
Yeah. And then here it's going to say, this is going to ask you, what's your Excel file that you're going to save it as for your file name. And you can't type something in here. What you have to do is you have to click that yellow folder. Yeah, right there. And then you have to, don't do this step, but I'm just going to talk to you on it. You have to have a blank Excel file already saved somewhere on your computer. So I usually create like a book 1, a book 2, a book 3 Excel file for this purpose and just store it on my computer somewhere. So you're going to navigate to that file that's already on your computer in Excel.
Yeah,
that's
where you have it.
Yeah, and then you're going to click it, and then I don't know if you've got one that you can go ahead and do that with.
I don't want.
But you'll click that blank file that's already stored on your computer, and it'll ask you, do you want to overwrite? And you say, yeah, overwrite that file, and then it'll put your data into that Excel file that already
Okay.
exists on your computer. Now,
Okay.
that's the only difference between this old version and the new version. The new version, you don't have to do that. The old
Okay.
version, you do. So the old version, you have to do it this way.
So it's the additional step we have to do in this version.
Yes.
Okay.
So that completes everything with installation of Monarch, but we've got two final steps to do. So
Okay.
the if you go to programs, add remove programs under control panel,
Oh,
and you could type it in there.
control panel.
Yeah. And then there's programs and features right there.
Let me do this one. Okay.
And then you're going to scroll to where it says Microsoft Office Professional Plus 2010.
This
Yeah,
one.
right there. Yep. And then you're going to click uninstall.
This one.
Yeah. So we want to get this off of there because that way you don't have two versions of Microsoft Office. So you just hit yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So this is going to uninstall the 2010 version. And then there's one more step after this. So but let's let this uninstall first.
I believe the install should be faster than when we install it. I hope.
So while this is running, I'll just talk to you about. So the virtual clone that we installed, that's a utility program. It's sort of like WinZip or 7-Zip. You can keep that on your computer. It reads file types called .iso, which is image files, and that's good to have on your computer because that's a standard file type. So I would just leave that. And then that, if you notice, there's Microsoft Office 2003 web components right above that one behind that screen. I would keep that on there.
Okay.
So those two you can just keep, but the 2010 version you want to remove. And then after this uninstalls, the next thing that we're going to do after this, and this is the final step, we're going to go back to the same control panel programs features, and right there where it says Microsoft 365 apps for enterprise English US. Yep. Yeah, after this uninstalls the 2010, we're going to come back here. We're going to click that, and we're going to click repair.
Okay.
And then that's going to tell your Windows that you're back to having Office 365 as your default Microsoft Office.
Okay. So
that way it works like it did before.
Several steps and very technical, right?
Yeah, these are workaround steps because the old version of Monarch, that company got bought out by another company, and then that company dropped all these older programs and they don't support it anymore, have anything to do with it. And they also won't tell you how to install the old version on your new computers for Windows 10. So these are like workaround steps that we found through trial and error on how to get this installed right.
Okay. Yeah.
And when you have two versions of Microsoft Office on your computer, you can have two versions. I actually have both versions. So I've got 2010 and 365 on my computer, both of them at the same time. But when you have two versions, only one can be your default. And the way whichever one was last installed, that becomes your default. So right now your computer is defaulted to 2010 version. If you want to have both versions and you wanted to have 365 as your default, then going in there to the 365 and hitting repair, that tells the Windows 10 that the 365 is now your default. So you can keep changing your defaults by hitting repair if you've got 2 or 3 versions of Microsoft Office. So it's allowed, but I probably wouldn't. It's just a lot of trouble. So I would just uninstall 2010 and then run repair on your 365, and then you just got one version.
Yeah, I believe it's much better to uninstall it and have only one.
I have two versions because I prefer the older version of Excel. It's
Okay.
simpler, quicker for
Yeah.
me to get my job done. But with me having both versions on my computer, I've got my 2010 as my default. But then when the IT department pushes out updates to Office, that turns my Office 365 into my default. So then I go back to 2010 and run repair, and then that becomes my default. So I'm always going back and hitting repair a lot of times if IT pushes out a update. But you can avoid all that if you just remove one if you don't want both.
I agree.
I was looking at what time we started, so it looks like we've gone about an hour.
Yes,
But
it's an hour.
but had we copied all these files to your C drive, this would have gone in 30 minutes, Tom.
Okay. I try something now. How many times have you doing this? Have you done this process? I mean, with us, and have
We
you
got
done with someone else?
yeah, we got 12 people total.
Mm,
So I did wheels, so now I'm down to 11.
mm,
And then assuming that everybody on this meeting can do it,
yeah.
then we'll be down to however many. So we got, that would be down to 6 people. So we've knocked half of them out. And then I got a meeting this afternoon for, I think, 2 more people.
Okay.
So most of them, and then I got a meeting tomorrow with 1 or 2 people. So hopefully everybody will get installed this week.
It will be good maybe if they can copy all the folders information on their Drive C in advance, just for you to do it faster.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You like to do it, have to do it right now, or can I do it later?
You might as well go ahead and reboot and rejoin so that we can record all the way to the end so that we can save this recording. It'd be complete.
Okay.
So I would say,
So,
yeah, reboot. So
okay,
yes, reboot, and then
I
just
will do
join
it.
back.
Okay, I will. Thank you. I will back.
Okay.
I'm back.
Okay, so if you want to share your screen,
Yes.
we'll do that final last step, which is you gotta go back to control panel, programs and features, and then we'll do the Microsoft Office 365 and we'll hit the repair button so everybody can see it. That's important so your office works properly.
Can you see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's the Office 365. Yep. So then you hit change.
Change.
Yeah. And then you'll just leave it. Quick repair is fine. And then you hit repair.
Okay.
Yeah. So this will restore your 365 back to where it was as being the default Office program for your computer. And then that's it. So then we're all done.
Perfect. Excellent. So you were gonna save the recording and share with us?
Yes.
Okay.
So I
will
guess
work.
we can go ahead and end the meeting, and I'll send that recording out to everybody.
Okay.
There won't be any issues here. It'll just say it's done once it's done.
Okay, Travis, thank you. I will work with the rest of the team to share the folders and the files from iDrive, just for them to save it on their C drive. That maybe should help to make this process easier and faster.
Yes.
Okay.
That'll be
Okay.
good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
Thank you, Travis.
¿Eso fueron todas? ¿Eso fueron todas? ¿Eso fueron todas? Elda y
No,
Laura.
aquí estoy.
Ok, ahorita, pues en el caso tuyo, ahorita te comparto los folders y los archivos aquí directo.
Sí. Ok.
Ahorita busco a estas niñas, a los de Matamoros para también pasarles la misma información.
Ok. Sí, está
¿Cómo lo
bien.
viste?
Pues sí, no, sí estaba entretenido. Quítale y ponle y vuelve a poner. O sea, que
se
si lo hubieran mandado solos, o sea, solos, así de que como...
se me hace que tal vez no paró la grabación. Déjame me paro. A ver si lo puedo parar aquí yo. A ver.
Ah, no, no está. O tiene que ser él.
Sí, no lo veo. Bueno, ahorita te busco entonces.
Arribita, donde está la crucita enseguida del lip.
¿De quién?
Del lip, del rojito, del botón rojo, del lip, de salir.
Ay, Dios mío, aquí.
No, en stop sharing.
Stop sharing.
Pero stop sharing, sí,
Sí, deja de compartir nada más, pero no, entonces tenemos que ir entonces.
Y no se va, o sea.
No, sigue grabando aquí, a ver.
No, pero si nos salimos sin ponerle stop, no.
Sí se corta.
Ok.
Sí, ahorita veo.
Ok.
Bye.